Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. It's been a while since I've uploaded, but here we go. Here's a new UI design. In this UI design, we're gonna make, this is just a two-screen design. I will gonna show you the process how to make this savings, kind of banking application, but it is not only two screens. So the first screen is just the card summaries and your spending goals for those things and your transactions, and the second screen is the drill down screen for each card on how many you spent, how many you earned, and then the breakdown of this expenditure of that card. So let's get started. So at first, we're gonna do I'm gonna talk over this design. This is gonna be another design talk over, okay? Rather than to just show you a 1 hour clip, because I've noticed that if I show 1 hour clip of me just designing and talking, a lot of people loses interest on it. So I've decided to just mix it up, and sometimes I will do the designs that are not sped up for the people who are very interested and very willing to create the design from scratch and see the process, and just a speed up summary for the users in YouTube that are low in attention span like me. So now we're creating this in iPhone XL. This is the Max XL. So this is the biggest screen in an iPhone right now. So we're creating the dashboard first, and I'm using again Unsplash for this, unsplash.com, and also nounproject.com for the icons, and also for the icons is Noun Project, Unsplash is for the images. I just used one image for this one, but the icons, there are plenty that I used. So now I'm thinking on what is the goal of the user if they want to like limit their spending. So I'm thinking that there would be a graph there, and there would be a card number there, like a card on how much amount is that. So now I'm separating them into two parts. So I've decided to separate the goal from each card. So because a typical user will have a lot of cards, and then the goal would be like a total summary, not an individual goal for each card. That's what I decided from. I'm using actually just simple fonts here right now. I'm just using Roboto as a font, and I'm experimenting a bit on what font sizes I'm using. But I'm keeping in mind that I won't be using like lower than 14 font. Now I'm using like 12 font right now, 12 pixels of font. So I'm gonna change it actually, because I've seen in the preview that it is just very small. But it's the basic rule that you should not lower your fonts. But the lowest you can go is just 16, and the very lowest that you can go is 14. Those are not very important details. As much as possible, you would cater to the audiences that has like reading problems or reading accessibilities. So now I'm indicating the starting balance for each month, and then the earnings and the amount spent on that month for this summary right now. And I'm telling the user to, hey, you've spent $1,502 this month, and your spending goal is about this. So you have like a little bit more to spend. Now we have a thing there to edit this thing, okay? Because we're talking about in this design, we're not just making it look good, but we're thinking that how would the user edit this? How would the user like add a card or view a card summary on this dashboard, like those things. We don't want to have a dead end design. Just because the design looks pretty doesn't mean that it is functionable, okay? So we're just thinking about functionality now, and then also the fonts of this one. Like I've decided to make the prices as condensed fonts as possible. So now we're using two fonts, which generally not actually recommended, but for this study we're gonna use two fonts. It's gonna be Roboto Condensed for the prices, because it's bolder, thicker, and condensed at the same time. So you can have like over 100K, 100,000 there without being a problem, and just the readability of it, or the sizing issues for each card, for each size of the card. I mean, what I mean by card now is the cards of the UI cards. Okay, so sorry if I confuse you like that. So now we're having the filters right now, the filter for the dates. So I'm thinking that, okay, this is like the monthly goal, right? So I'm gonna tell the user that, hey, I'm just showing the data for this month, like for the August month, and if they click the calendar, they can switch. They can switch the data to not the previous months, or the specific date range if they would like to. And now we're going through not the navigation, but the things that you would spend your money on. So I'm thinking that they would spend it in transport. They would spend it also on bills, water bills, electric bills, or food. And also they spend it on travels. And also they have like remittance or payrolls for this one. Or even card bills. We're just gonna arrange them neatly. So I'm keeping in mind that all of the prices would be on condensed font. I would keep that in mind. So a lot of you are noticing right now that the UI is a bit different, because I'm streaming this on Twitch, so that I will be like more engaged in my design process, and just to like give me some motivation to just do this UI designs, because it's like someone is looking at you and you have to do your work like that. It's not goes to say that if I'm unsupervised, I'm lazy, but yeah. If you want to check out the stream, I'm on Twitch. It's just backslash TOTOTPC, Twitch TV/TotoPC. Same as my Twitter handle. You can check me there. I stream like every day. So now we're going to the navigation right now. So the navigation would be, I'm thinking of navigation will be the dashboard, the cards, and then the settings, and the statistics. Those are the dashboards right now. No, those are the navigations, not the dashboards. Okay. I could have changed the statistics to like just tips how to save properly, or just generally just tips. And I'm always actually advocating this, but to have sample ad placements for the application. Just because it's just an application, you need something that would entice the user to do something. There's always a nudge to do something. Like if I think about a card company, the main thing that the card company would just impose to the user or nudge the user to is to spend. So it's a bit ironic, but you have to like make a make a saving app, but also nudge the user to spend. You get what I mean? Like it's a bit ironic, but that is the real deal, because the card companies make money by letting you spend stuff. So this is just a sample ad, so make the app more believable. And now we're going to the next part of this one is going to be the drill down page for each card. So I'm thinking here that for each card, I can know the balance, the total balance for that card, and then the day-to-day spending for that card. If I used it, like if I earned something on that card or I spent something on that card, that kind of graph, and then the how much is this relate to my overall spending. Like if this card is like 7% or 10% of my overall spending, if I use this card often to spend. And then just a summary. This is a summary of how many categories this card spending with. Like if I use this card on just food, if I use this card on clothing, if I use this card in transport, I would know that these are the categories that this card is I use for spending. You will see on the Figma file, if you check the Figma file is always under the description down below if you want to check or copy it. You can check there actually that I wrote all the features. I wrote all the features before I started this one. So I neatly like laid them out for you to make you understand that these are the features that I'm thinking of. Like it's better to have a planned UI than a not planned UI. It's much more easier to do. You can have some happy accidents along the way, but yeah, there's more quite of the like you don't expect to look at like look make it look like this, but yeah, it just works like that. Like right now, I'm just thinking how will it will look if I just click on this. So I'm just thinking that would I like spend more screens on this one, or will I just show this two screens just for the people to see how would this function in real life? I guess that the part that won this is just to make the people to see the simplicity of it rather than just making it more convoluted. But I feel like in this design it has more features than intended to look like. It's more crowded. That's what I feel about in this design. But I don't know. I don't know. But if you look at it, though, it's more like a real app than some of the designs you will see on Dribble. Okay. We'll have now the period report. Like this report of categorical spending right now. Excuse me. So we're nearing the end of the video actually. So if you don't know that you can do this graph, the circle graph thing without even like doing it by stroke, and you can do it just by shapes, okay, by adjusting the ratio of it. I guess I'm gonna make a video out of it later on adjusting and making ratio graphs on Figma with a non-destructive ratio graphs. It is not made by strokes but by shapes, okay. Mm. I've discovered it like unintentionally because I'm just clicking on stuff also. So now I'm just changing the colors of this one. I'm seeing that what looks like on the right side, on the left side, what is like pleasing to the eye. And now I'm just removing the all the pinks there. And I'm just going with the pinkish background and then the light cards there. Cards by cards again by UI cards, okay. I need to specify that more often. So now we have the month, and edit there. And then you can see that there's a line between those two things that would categorize them as a earning or a spending. And we're just gonna have some finishing touches right here. And essentially, I'm gonna just be done with this. Okay, it's now done. Okay, so final thoughts on this one. My final thoughts on this one is just I could have done more detail for the spending, for the drill down spending, like the in and outs of it. You can see on the dashboard screen that I could have uh, duplicated also the incoming and outgoing for the summary, and I will like just show the spendings. I will show the income and spending, and then what else? I guess more screens. Like, I can like have a journey map of this one, like 5 to 10 screens, like just to show the user what are the capabilities of this application. But yeah, I guess it's just very hard for me to make a content like that to like grasp the user. Like, hey, I'm just making a systems design. Would you interested to making the system design? I don't know. I don't know what the reaction of the user would be. Like that. Like people get bored very fast in these kinds of videos. But I guess yeah. So if you like this content, be sure to give it a like, a thumbs up, and share this actually to your friends because it helps a lot on the videos. And also all the descriptions are the Figma files are all underneath the description down below. So if you want to edit them, if you want to make use of them, feel free to use. Just don't use them for your like client work because there are a lot of attributions you need to do, like for the noun project and for the unsplash, that you need to attribute them. Okay, so I hope that this would like help you guys, and be sure to comment down below if you want to see more of this stuff, like speed up designs or more of the 1 hour designs that I do, like designing just not speed up. So I hope you stay safe and have a good one.